Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very special guest on the channel today. You guys see her behind the scenes. She's the one who edits all my videos. This is my design assistant and friend, Kelly Nguyen. Right now, we are currently standing in Kelly's bedroom. Kelly's been with me this June for 5 years now with Julie Khuu Interior Design. And I would not be where I am right now without her. You know, everything that you guys see behind the scenes, it's all Kelly. Everything that YouTube is today, it's all Kelly. It's all her help, all of her creative genius. And I thought, what better way to give back to my right-hand gal than with a complete bedroom makeover design. So we are so happy to show you guys what's happening in the before so that you guys can see how we transformed this space from what you see now to what you're going to see in the very near future. I just have to let you guys know, this is my first time ever being here. And my first impression of the room is that it's huge, okay? It's larger than your average master bedroom. So why don't you talk to me about the bed? I mean, I see that it's a upholstered platform bed. It has this really cute tufted headboard. I mean, is this a color scheme that you're going for?
I would like a light neutral color scheme for my room.
But I see that you have a lot of dark furniture in here. There's dark bedding, there's dark furniture, there's dark floors. So how long have you been living with it this way?
All my life, I think.
Wow, okay. What would you say is one of your biggest hang-ups of why your room isn't decorated the way you want?
A lot of the time it's because of budget. I know that I'll change little things because I can only afford some things at a time, but not everything.
Okay, and that's very common. I'm sure you guys look around your house and you see that you have a mishmash of furniture. A lot of it is hand-me-downs, a lot of it is given to you, a lot of stuff you probably even like Craigslisted or garage sales or a family has given to you, but at the same time, once you receive all of these disparate items, they never come together. They never are able to find a space within your home where it speaks to your style and it does what you need it to do. Really, what's happening here is you're just trying to make it work, right?
Yeah.
So in the process of just trying to make pieces of furniture work, they never really speak your style, and then you're never really inspired by coming into your own space because it still doesn't feel like your space. So now that we have the bed area figured out, I mean, you get so much beautiful natural light in this room. You have one large window here and another small window on the far wall where you can get amazing cross breeze. Except that, what is happening here, Kelly?
So usually I don't really open my curtains, which is why it fell down.
Why don't you open your curtains?
My eyes are sensitive to light. I do like natural light, but I think it can be too harsh depending on the time of day.
Everyone has different issues when it comes to their windows. I mean, you know from working with me, what's the first line of defense that we address when it comes to window treatments?
Shears and blackouts?
Shears, okay? If you have issues with natural light and glare, shears are your first defense. Not only are they gonna bring so much natural light into your space, making your space look whiter and brighter, and you say you love that really pale neutral decor, you're making your room even darker by closing up the shades, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and I also feel as though when it's dark in here, it doesn't lift your spirits. There are so many ways that we can address the glare issues that you have with really beautiful window treatments that are not only functional, but they're operable, and at the same time, it's a really beautiful elevation for you to look at. Okay, so moving on. Talk to me about these nightstands.
One of the nightstands I got as a hand-me-down. I wanted to buy it, but it was a little out of my budget. So I got another one that was in budget, but they're not matching.
Okay, so clearly functional, but not aesthetically pleasing. But really, since we're on the line of aesthetically pleasing, is this even the color that you like?
No.
I know that budget is a really huge issue for some of you out there, so there are so many ways that we can upcycle things that you already own, especially if you've been living with pieces of furniture that already function for you. They have drawers where you need them, they have cubbies where you need to. You're already used to this footprint and what you set on top of it. We'll find really fun ways for you to upgrade what you already have, and at the same time, we might even splurge and buy a matching set just so that everything looks a little bit more grown up and a little bit more cohesive. Okay, Kel, so moving over from your sleeping bed area into your workstation, talk to me about what you do in this workstation.
So usually I'll do my crafts on the floor, and that's why there's so much space here.
Okay.
And then I do my makeup on my desk. So the reason why I put my desk on this side is because the light is coming in this direction, so I like to have it on me when I'm doing my makeup.
Okay, so you need natural lighting for you to do your makeup. Clearly, your desk is not only a place for you to work, for you to edit, for you to put on your makeup. So it's a multi-purpose area. Do you feel as though you have enough storage to house everything that you need to do in the space?
I have a lot of storage, but I also have a lot of things, and that's why all my storage space is kind of taken up.
Okay. Talk to me about all this vertical space you have. I see that you don't put anything on the walls in terms of additional storage, when you know that vertical storage is the #1 way to maximize the height of the room, and at the same time it's also the #1 way for you to store extra items, especially when they have drawers or cabinets over it. Do we feel like this is something we want to address?
I never really thought about it.
Okay, okay. So now we've rolled right over into your entertainment area, and you have a really sizable space here, which is a pretty large TV. The first issue I see is that your console area looks completely cluttered. Why do you think that is?
There's a lot of things in the front of the TV, and then the drawers are really cluttered.
Well, #1, there's no cabinet, so you can't even hide your clutter. I think the #1 tip for any of your storage needs is, if you know that you're not a tidy person, and come on, I know there's plenty of you guys out there, keep everything hidden in drawers or hidden in baskets or hidden behind something that actually closes so that it doesn't show how messy you really are. And honestly, that's life, guys. I mean, sometimes you're working through things so quickly, you just need a place to kind of stash all your stuff. But when you stash it and it's a complete view, it just makes the room seem a little bit more closed in than it already is. Okay, the second issue I see is this really beautiful chaise lounge. #1 is not even in the direction where it's facing anything pretty. So what do you do in this chaise?
When I come home after a long day, I'll just sit on the chaise and just like text or something.
Okay, but you're really not looking at anything, you're looking down at your phone.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is something that you could get rid of, since you can do the same exact thing on your bed?
Yes.
And not only that, you'll free up so much more space for something you actually even need, which to me is storage. You're in desperate need of a storage area because you're constantly crafting in your room, constantly editing, you're doing your makeup, you're getting ready. I just think that there's a more functional way for you to demarcate space and get rid of the things that you don't use every day that serve a purpose to you. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are gonna see Kelly and I go through the process of how we even plan this space out. And the first thing you have to do is figure out, what do you do in here? Function first, so let's get right to it. Okay, Kel, so the first thing that we always do is to come up with a plan. The #1 question you need to ask yourself before embarking on any interior design plan is, what are you doing in the space? So a really good rule of thumb is just, break up a sheet of paper into a couple of sections, okay? You have a section for sleep, you have a section for work, you have a section for TV, okay? Just like this, guys, sleep, work, TV. And then underneath each section, you write what happens in your sleep area. You have a bed, you need bedding, you need nightstands, you need a lamp, you need storage, and then under work, what do you need under work? You need to decide function first. How do you use the space? That's exactly what function is. You need the space to function for you before you can start making it all pretty and styling it up. Since this is your plan, you have to demarcate the things that you need. If anything in your space doesn't fall within this plan, you get rid of it, okay? That is design 101. Purging to free up more space for the things that you actually do need. Let's move on to the TV area. What's happening here in the TV area? Be very specific. Okay. Basically, what you want to figure out is, what are the things that absolutely need to be here? What are the things that inspire me on a daily basis? What are the things that I want to be inspired by? What are the things that I reach to when I need something right away? And if it's not anything you need right away, they can go in a closet, they can go in a garage, where it's out of sight and it's out of mind. And everything that you see is just beautiful and inspiring and uplifting and motivating. One of the things that I've noticed in your bedroom is all of these really beautiful personal photography and motivational quotes and your vision board. except that they're all scattered throughout the room. What would you like to see happen with your personal photography and your vision board?
I like my personal photography on my nightstands, but I don't want it too scattered around the room. For the vision board and maybe the quotes, I think they should go together where I can see it better.
Right, because here's the first thing that I noticed. If you're sitting here at your workstation every day, you have your vision board kind of hidden behind your lamps, your nightstand, all that stuff. To me, that's not very motivating, you know, like you don't wake up and feel uplifted by that because it's kind of cluttered by all this other stuff. So I absolutely feel as though it should be front and center, exactly where you're working, and then you see it right away. Like, I think this wall is just a beautiful space for it. So we'll definitely be trying to incorporate a more visually stunning space to house everything that you want to be inspired by. Now that we've gotten the function all laid down, let's talk aesthetics. The first thing that I always have clients do is to search for inspiration on Pinterest, pin a bunch of images that really speak to your aesthetic and style, and then share the board with me. I then sit down and kind of dissect room for room, image for image, the things that you love in the space so that we can somehow use that to inspire our future design. So we'll be tackling the sleep area, the work area, and the TV entertainment area. So show me an inspiration of what you want your sleep area to look like.
For the sleep area, I like something like this picture where it's very neutral. It has a lot of textures, but it's not too cluttered and crazy.
When I look at this picture, it screams minimal. Where will you house all the items that you currently have in your nightstand? Are you willing to give up some of these pieces that are sitting in your nightstand so that you can achieve the minimal look?
I like that my nightstand has a lot of storage, so I prefer to keep something like it or something large where I can put everything I need right next to me.
So when I see an image like this and I try to dissect it for a client, I will literally break down everything, and it's up to you to prioritize your needs. If the priority is natural finishes, textures, then you absolutely need storage in a very modern, minimal way, except that you need additional storage in the space, whereas this has no storage at all.
Yeah.
So is that something that you're willing to sacrifice?
Then yes, I would be willing to sacrifice this look because I'd rather have the storage.
Okay, so that's something that you guys absolutely have to determine. What are your needs, and you need to be able to prioritize one over the next to achieve what you want. Okay, so we've got neutral, textures, minimal, but with some storage capacity. So it's absolutely a light and bright space. Do you see how there's so much natural light flooding through the space? Do you like that type of look for your window treatments?
Yes, I think shears would be good.
Okay, definitely shears are good, but at the same time, blackouts also function to, number one, keep the light out when you don't want it in the space, especially when you're editing. You kind of just want to be in like a dark cavern, and at the same time, your neighbors can't see through the windows. Okay, so let's move on to your workstation. This is really similar to the L-shaped configuration you have now, except that it's within that same color palette, right? It's white, it's light, it's bright. You have this existing white desk here, which we can absolutely reuse, but then you also have this espresso colored cubby on the right side, which is not really in line with the colors that you do want for the space. A new coat of paint is just gonna give it the refresh that we absolutely need so that everything matches. So that's definitely what we'll be putting in the space. So let's say upscale existing furniture, slap on a new coat of paint. Okay, so do you see how they made such use of vertical space with floating shelves or any types of shelves? Is that something that you feel that you could benefit from?
Yes, but I'm just scared it's gonna look cluttered.
Well, the way you're styling it now, it will be, but you've seen how we style shelves in the past. Do you not have any confidence in the fact that you could do the same thing with your own space?
No, I do feel confident.
Yeah, so you know, challenge yourself to do this, Kel. You know, half of this process is going to be me coming up with, you know, solutions for you, and the other half is you kind of inputting all of your experience and expertise by working with me into your own space. What did you learn from the last makeover office that we did in terms of shelfie styling and office and organization?
To get functional, pretty boxes.
See, so that's like storage 101. If you know that you're not a tidy person or if you're not highly organized, get boxes, guys. Get really beautiful boxes that you can just throw a bunch of things in. Get a little label machine that has the labels thrown right in front, or at the same time, if your style is really minimal, I would get acrylic boxes. You can see right through it. I mean, clearly there's still like clutter if you like clutter the boxes, but you can see right through it without even having to open the boxes up. I've linked in the past some really beautiful storage boxes and organization pieces for you guys. We'll show you how to DIY pieces that you find from the thrift store or a garage sale and pull it all together so that it speaks to your style. Okay, Kel, let's move on to your TV entertainment area. Okay, so talk to me about this TV console, Kel.
I just like that it's really bright and there's a lot of storage space, but it's all covered up so it doesn't look too cluttered and it looks really neat, minimal. Clean lines. Okay, so clean lines. Because the piece that you have existing absolutely has clean lines, but the fact that it doesn't have drawers or cubbies or cabinets, I mean, you have the baskets, which is great for hiding all of your clutter, but I don't think they're aesthetically pleasing or is in line with the light, bright, neutral kind of minimal decor that you're trying to go for. We'll definitely be upscaling the existing piece that we already have, and it's IKEA. That's a video that you guys have been dying for us to make. So IKEA hacking 101 is gonna happen a lot in this makeover. Okay, so that's it for the planning and designing portion of this makeover. Kelly, you know what you have to do next, don't you? Purge.
Yes. Don't be scared, honey, okay? That is the first step to designing the space of your dreams. You have to be realistic with your space. Take a look around. Think about all the things that no longer serve a purpose or inspires you or motivates you. You gotta get rid of it. And by purging all the unnecessary items, you're going to bring so much new light into the space, and immediately it's gonna change your spirit like you've never seen before. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Kelly has been working with me for such a long time right now, okay? And you know all the tips, the tricks, the principles. You've been through client to client, from project to project, except that you still don't apply these principles to your own life. So why do you think that is?
All the time and the money to put into doing this, and I have like ideas, but I don't really execute them.
Would you say that's pretty common for most people? Time, budget, a clear plan?
Yes.
I think one of the biggest things that we're gonna tackle on this video is budget. We're gonna be doing this makeover on a very restricted budget, and at the same time, this is my gift to Kelly. We're also going to be doing this in a very limited time, and I'm pretty sure what everyone's major problem is a clear plan. So what I wanna challenge you with, Kelly, is to be coming up with your own plan for the space. You'll be pitching it to me. I'll flesh it out with you. We'll be talking about all the ways that we could upgrade all of the existing pieces in the room that function for you but are aesthetically not in line with your vision for the space. And at the same time, I feel like there's so much square footage here. There's so much vertical height here that we're not taking advantage of that we absolutely need to address as well.